Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time it's a base game Victorian style house, and I am so excited to share this one with you guys. I think it turned out so pretty, and I hope you guys will like it. So a base game build is probably my most requested video from you guys, and it's been a long time since I've done a base game only build. I think maybe a year or something. I've done some since then that use 1 or 2 packs. And something I should mention, this isn't entirely base game. I did use 1 pack, but it is the free holiday pack. I hope you guys don't mind, but I figured since it's free and everyone can have it and it doesn't cost anything, then it wasn't that big of a deal to use. I kind of consider the items to be base game. At least that's how I see it, but if you don't have that pack for whatever reason, the only things that will be missing are a couple of candles. I will point them out when we get to it, but yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but other than that, the entire house is completely base game. All of the furniture, the entire structure, landscaping, and everything. But yeah, as you guys can see, I went for this Victorian style, and this is one of my favorite styles in real life. I used to live in a Victorian home, and the house was so beautiful. And I wish I had pictures of it or lived close to it so I could drive by it, because I would really like to rebuild it, but I can't remember exactly how it looked. But I loved that house so much, and it's a style that I've been wanting to build a lot more in The Sims, because I haven't really built like this very often. I'm kind of intimidated by it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think this one turned out really nice. But I was following a plan I found on Pinterest, so I will link that in the description, because this house is very similar to that one. I followed the plans pretty closely. It's not an entirely like replicated build, but it's pretty close. So I will link it if you guys are curious. And of course the link to this download will be in the description, because I do get questions every once in a while from you guys asking where you can download my builds. All of them are on the gallery, and then I put a link in the description of every video, so you guys can just follow that link to the origin website and download them really easily. But anyways, as you guys can see, the structure is coming together. I love this wraparound porch. It is so pretty. I was thinking about making it a round room instead of that octagonal shape, but I felt like the roofing would be a little bit harder to do. And plus, for whatever reason, there is a new glitch, at least new to me. I've just recently noticed it. It may have been around for a while. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, the glitch is where the roof trims, or the floor trims rather, won't fit on a round room. So that's kind of frustrating, and I thought it would just make the build not look as good. So I went with the octagonal shape, and I'm really happy that I did, because I think it is so pretty, and I love the 2 staircases with the 2 different entrances. And you probably noticed in the interior of the build, I did kind of like this grand entryway with these 2 staircases, and that was definitely from the plans that I was looking at. I wanted to make it like open to above, but for whatever reason, the octagonal roofs kind of clip in when you have fences on the interior. It makes it think it's like outside or something. I don't know. It kind of works really weird, so I did close that part off, so it's not as grand as I would have liked it to be. But I ended up turning that room into a cute little nursery, and I think it just came together really nicely. And other than that, there is a parent's bedroom, of course, and there's 3 bathrooms, and then there are 2 kids' rooms, an office, a pretty open living room, a dining room, and then a kitchen. So yeah, I think it has all of the activities and rooms that you'd probably want in a build. The only other room I would have wanted to include was a toddler's room, but the baby won't be a baby very long, so you could just swap out the crib for a little toddler bed. And then other than that, on the exterior, there is a chess table. I put an art easel on the back balcony, and then there's a couple little seating areas, a barbecue, and then I think that's pretty much it. Oh, a pool. I did add a pool and monkey bars. So there's a few different activities. I was kind of regretting not building this on a different lot, like a bigger lot, because I would have liked to add more in the backyard. Maybe like a pond or something would have been nice, but I decided not to move it, and I already spent a very long time on this build. So if you would like to place it on a bigger lot to add more activities in the backyard, you definitely could, because I feel like it's a little bit small, but I don't know, I still think it's really pretty. I really like the landscaping. I had a lot of fun, and that's probably one of the best things about building with base game is you're not really limited on plants. There's a few things that you're missing from like outdoor retreat and romantic garden, but pretty much all of the plants that we have in game are base game plants, so that was really easy. The hardest part is definitely decorating, because building's really not that hard. I mean, basically most of the building tools are all base game, and I use a lot of base game windows and doors, so that really wasn't a problem. But decorating, there was definitely a lot of packs that I was missing. Pretty much all of them, because I use every pack. Let's be honest, I'm not very good at limiting myself pretty much in any build unless I'm specifically doing a build like this one, but I still think it came together really pretty. It's probably too blue for a lot of people's taste, so hopefully you guys don't mind. I went for a very matchy color scheme, but I wanted this house to look very traditional, and I wanted to use a lot of those very traditional base game items that I don't use a whole lot. And I don't know, I think even though it's so matchy and so blue, I still think it came together pretty nicely and very pretty. So yeah, I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this build. And I think this is the largest base game build I have ever done, because the last base game only build, which I can link in an icon and I can link it in the description in case you guys want to watch it, because I actually really like that house. It's a pretty small 1-story house. I think it is a 3-bedroom though. Maybe it's only 2. I can't exactly remember. I'm pretty sure it's 3. But it's a very small house, and I think the one that I did before that, which was a very long time ago, I think that I did that one for my 100 subscribers special. So yeah, they're kind of really spread out, but I think this is the biggest base game build that I have ever done. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I am starting with the landscaping now, and I went with these blue purpley hydrangea plants, and then I mixed them with some greenery, a few different trees, and then I think another purpley and blue flower, but I think it comes together really nice. I was really wanting it to look quite lush and a little bit overgrown, not messy and unkept like my last family home, but I wanted it to look pretty overgrown and lush, and I think it comes together really nicely, and I felt like the colors complemented the blue and white exterior of the build really well. And yeah, I do really like it. And then of course I'm adding some terrain paint around, little bits of shadow and dirt underneath the trees and the flowers, which I think just looks a lot better, and I think it looks really nice when you add that little bit of detail. At least I think it makes it look a little bit more realistic anyways. And then I do have a couple of trash cans out here, and I also add some dirt terrain paint around those because I wanted it to look like you probably moved the trash cans around a lot on the grass or walked around, so it's kind of worn and a little bit muddy over there. At least that's what I was thinking. And then right here I have a gardening area, so there's a few planter boxes, and then I add some plants around there. I was really missing toddler activities for the backyard, and I think this is why I didn't end up adding a toddler bedroom in the build, but all of the activities for them come with other packs. So we have the toddler pools that came with seasons, and then the toddler slide that came with toddler stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something else that came with another pack, but I felt like they were kind of missing out in the backyard, so I definitely would like to see maybe something added to base game for toddlers to do. That way people who only have the base game or packs that don't include those items could have a little bit more for them to do in the backyard. I don't know, let me know. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something they can do. But as you guys can see, the exterior has pretty much came together. All the landscaping is complete. I do go back in and decorate all of the porches before I continue with decorating the interior. But right now I am working out the floor plan. I just kind of cut out the different bedrooms. It really wasn't that difficult to figure out the floor plan for this build. It came together pretty easily anyways. I was thinking about making that room above the stairs like a playroom for the kids, but I decided I would like to have one more bedroom, so you could definitely turn it into a playroom if you would like to. So you'll notice I do put an archway right there because I was wanting it to be kind of open, but I do switch it out for a door later on. But now we are back to the exterior, and I just pick out some exterior furniture, and I'm so happy that I did all of the landscaping in a previous building session, because I came back in and for whatever reason all of the grass is completely dead. Now if I would have a sim on the lot and be building in live mode, then it would be with the season, so the grass would be green if I'm building in summer, but for whatever reason there's kind of this glitch in build mode where all of the grass is basically non-existent and dead, and it's driving me crazy. Hopefully it'll be fixed soon, but yeah, at least I got all the landscaping done before then. But here I am just adding some decorations to the porches, so a couple more planter boxes, and then I was gonna do like this outdoor dining area here in the front, but I ended up moving the chess table over here because I thought it'd be kind of nice for your Sims to be able to sit there and play some chess and kind of look out into the street. I don't know, I felt like it was a nice place for it. And then on the back, I also have a dining table on the front with some planter boxes, the art easel, and then a little seating area on the lower porch. But here I am lighting up the exterior, and then I think that's pretty much it for the exterior, and I just really like it. So yeah, hopefully you guys do like it too. And then now I'm just lighting up the interior, and I'm so happy that these saucer lights are base game because they are my favorite lights. They light up everything so bright, and you can size them down and merge them in with like other lights, because I do go through and add some like chandeliers which kind of have this yellowy hue to it, and they're not as bright, so layering them with these saucers makes it so much more bright, and I'm really happy about that. But now I'm just picking out the wallpaper and the flooring, and I went with these very traditional wood panelings with these wallpaper textures on the top, and then I went with dark wood floors, and I felt like the dark wood floors kind of complemented all of the whites and blues, so hopefully you guys agree, but I felt like it was really pretty. And then I went for kind of soft pastel-y tones, which are pretty much most of the base game colors when you're going for this more traditional look, and yeah, I feel like it just came together pretty nicely. So the upstairs bathrooms, there are 2 of them, and I was going to make one of them an ensuite, but I decided not to because I felt like in an older style home you probably wouldn't have an ensuite. So there's like 2 family bathrooms, but one of them you could definitely turn into a bedroom if you would like to, and I can point that out again when we get onto the upstairs. But here I decided to start off decorating the kitchen first. I kind of just wanted to get this area sorted out before I moved on to the rest of the build. And you will notice that I used all modern appliances. I just felt like that would be a lot nicer than using the traditional ones. I don't know, I just don't like the way they look as much. They look way too old for my taste anyways. I mean, I wanted this to be kind of an older home, but they've updated the appliances, so that's what I went with, and hopefully you guys do like it, but you can of course switch them out if you prefer the older style. And I just really love how white and bright this kitchen is. I think it came together really pretty. And here I'm just hanging up some curtains, and then I go through and I decorate with some flowers and a few little kitchen decorations. That tea light that I just put there on the counter, not these ones, well, these ones came with the holiday pack too, but the tea light that I used came with the holiday pack, so if you don't have that pack, that'll be missing. And then I also use those other candles that I had out. I think I used them on top of the fireplace and on top of the dining table, but other than that, completely base game, I promise. But here I am just picking out some decorations. I pulled out some debug objects. You'll notice there's that like meat pounder, I think is what it's called. I put that by the stove. And then those wooden spoons I have by the flowers on the island. I have just recently found those. They may have been in the debug menu for a long time. I'm not exactly sure, but those wooden spoons are so stinking cute, so I had to use those in this build and their base game, so that's so exciting, and it adds a little bit of clutter and decoration to the build because it's definitely something that base game is lacking, is a lot of clutter. It's kind of sad, but I think it came together pretty nicely anyways. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it for the kitchen. I just pulled out a cookbook to put here on the island as well. And then there's some fruit and some flowers, and then I hang up some pictures and a clock, and yeah, I think it's pretty cute. And then this is going to be the dining room. I wanted to fit one of these really long kind of grand dining tables in here, but it was a little bit too small to do that, so I get one of these tables instead that has 6 seats. It's still a pretty good size though, so I was pretty happy about that. But since it's kind of a small dining room, I wasn't able to fit a whole lot of decorations in here. I put a painting along that wall, and then I think I get like a lamp and a plant in the corner, so it's pretty bare, but I think it's really pretty. And then here I am just adding those candles that I was talking about from the holiday pack. So like I mentioned, if you don't have that pack for whatever reason, it won't be there, but you definitely should have that pack because it is free, and the items are really good, and it gets updated every single year around like the holiday season, around Christmas. And yeah, I think the updates keep getting better and better, so I really like them. And then this is going to be the downstairs bathroom. So it's the only bathroom here on the first floor, and it is a half bath, so there's no shower or bathtub. Would you call this a powder room instead of a half bath? Is that the proper way to call it? I'm not exactly sure. Let me know if you guys know, or maybe it's different for like different countries and stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty simple. I think all of the bathrooms in this build are pretty much decorated just like this, but I did leave them all in, and yeah, I think it's pretty cute. And then over here is a hallway, and I just hang up a few decorations, some paintings, and a mirror. And now this living room is humongous. I thought about putting the grand piano at that end, and I will decorate it here in a little while with the grand piano, but I decided to move it back into the entryway because I felt like that was just like the best spot for it, and it was so pretty. But yeah, here I am just decorating the little living room area. We got a modern TV, and I did this in my old stone cottage build with the coffee table, and so many of you guys thought this was such a good idea. And this is actually something that I used to do a long time ago before I ever shared a build to YouTube. I may have shared a couple with this sort of dining table before on YouTube, but I used to do it all the time. So like my older builds on the gallery would be like this, but these coffee tables overlap perfectly. There's hardly any glitching in game mode, so that's really good, and it makes a really nice round coffee table. So I think it looks really good, and I really liked using those traditional couches with the yellow pillows. I felt like the colors just matched so perfectly. So that's what I was talking about, it being like a little bit overly matchy, but I don't know, I really like it. And then there I just put that smart Lindsay speaker in the kitchen. That is a new item. It's not part of the holiday pack. It is part of base game now. It came with the free update. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool item to have there in the kitchen. And then here I am putting the grand piano here in the living room, but like I said, I do move it back to the entryway. And then what I end up putting in this spot was, it's this card game that I didn't realize was a base game item, because I was trying to figure out what other activities I could add that was base game that would give your Sims something to do, because I didn't want to add like another chess table or something, and so it takes me a while to realize it. I go through different little items, I think about adding a bar here, but then I realized that this table is base game, so I put it right here. It just adds another activity for your Sims to do. Of course, if you have other packs or something that you think would fit there a little bit nicer, then you could definitely do that, but it was such a long, narrow living room that it was kind of hard to decorate, so it's probably a little bit awkward, but I think it came together pretty nicely anyways. And then the entryway is pretty simple. It has the grand piano, of course, and then a little seating area in between the staircase. And I think it's pretty cute, but here I am just adding some decorations to the top of the fireplace. So I get a picture frame, some flowers, and then those candles again. And this is the last time that I use anything from the holiday pack. So it'll be those 3 candles that are missing if you don't have the pack. So I just kind of wanted to mention that. I probably mentioned it too much, but just wanted you guys to be aware that those would be gone if you don't have the holiday pack. And then this is going to be the home office, so I got a computer in here, and then I also put some skill building items like some art supplies. I get a guitar, an art easel, and then also that drawing tablet that is new with base game. I think it came with the update right before Get Famous was released, and that's such a cool item, and your Sims can put it in their inventory and draw with it, and it works the same as an art easel. I mean, your art easels can go in their inventory too, but I think it's a pretty cool item. And then I got a chair here in the corner, a clock, and a lamp, and then that's pretty much it, but I think it's a really nice home office. And then this is going to be the upstairs family bathroom. Now I mentioned there is another bathroom that's kind of like another family bathroom. It's a little bit smaller, so it could be like an ensuite, but I decided to not make it one, but you could turn this into a bedroom if you would like to. So it's pretty similar to the downstairs one, except for this one does have a shower and tub combo. And I went with that very traditional base game one that has like the curtain, and it looks like an old clawfoot tub that has the metal bars around it, this one right here. And I end up putting it in front of the window, which isn't the best spot to put it, but I figured since it's not actually secured to the wall, it really didn't matter too much where I put it, but it just fits, like it just fit here so nicely, so that's why I ended up blocking the windows with it. I definitely try to not block windows in my builds because I like them to bring in all of the light, and most of the time it's not that realistic to have things blocking the windows, but I didn't feel like that one was that big of a deal. And then here I'm just adding some decorations to the hallways, a few rugs, and then a couple of paintings and a couple of mirrors. I was kind of limited to decorations for the walls, so some of the things kind of repeat themselves. I was trying to not use the same paintings over and over, but some of them didn't really work for the style that I was going for. But here I am decorating the nursery, which I think comes together so cute. I really like the yellow color. It's like this yellow and soft green color. I really just love that color scheme for nurseries. So that's what I ended up doing. And then I do move the bassinet over by the chair and the kind of little changing table that I created. And then here in the bay window area, I do create my own bay window seat. Since with base game, we don't have any actual like bay window seating, I think the ones that we have in game came with seasons and cats and dogs, maybe one other pack. No, I'm pretty sure we only have bay window seats from those 2 packs. So yeah, I decided to create my own, and I think those little cushions came together pretty nicely for a bay window seat. They overlap a little bit. They kind of have a little bit of a weird glitchiness to them, but I think for the most part it works pretty nicely. And then I did put some stuffed animals on top of there, and then there's some balloons on the wall which are super cute, and then a couple of these little nice animal paintings, and then a few little decorations here on the changing table. I wanted it to look like there were some tissues and maybe like lotions and things that you would use when you're changing your baby's diaper. Hopefully, I know I have mentioned this before and so many other people have, but I'm really hoping that they will update babies soon because they are so limited and they're basically objects and we can't do a whole lot with them. But I still like building nurseries, but I definitely would like to see something more for them in game. And then this is going to be the master bedroom, and I do like the way it turned out, but the whole time I was building, I was planning on adding the vanity table. In my mind, I was like, oh yeah, I can add that like vintage looking vanity table that we have where your Sims can sit and do their makeup. And then I realized that that came with vintage glamour and it's not a base game item. So unfortunately, I couldn't add that in here. I could have built my own, probably by merging like a dresser and a mirror together, but I didn't really have the space for it, so I decided not to. But if you have vintage glamour, I think this would be the perfect build to add that like classic vanity table in. I think that would be so pretty, and it matches a lot of the base game furniture really well. And then I kind of created my own little open wardrobes with those hanging closets above the dresser. I thought that was really pretty. So it's a pretty simple master bedroom, but I think it came together pretty nicely. And then this is going to be the first kids room that I decorate. And this room has a pretty blue color scheme, but I do really like it. I had a hard time picking out traditional kids beds. You'll see me go through a lot here and I kind of shuffle through colors. I was trying to use that one, but I felt like it didn't really work for the style. So I go with this one. It's pretty fancy and it's not the exact blue I wanted it to be, but I still feel like I made it work. And then I put that little night lamp above the bed, and I'm pretty sure that that helps your Sim children with the monsters under their bed. I always forget about using that item, but I'm pretty sure that that like scares the monsters away or keeps them away. Is that correct? Let me know exactly how that works, because I always forget about that item and I'm not exactly sure how it works. But here I am just trying to figure out exactly how I want the furniture to be laid out. And I end up moving the bed back to this spot, but what I end up doing is moving the dresser to the other wall and then moving that science table over here. Because I don't know, for some reason it was kind of bothering me, all of the matching furniture being so close together, like the matching kids furniture. I felt like it looked a little bit weird, but the way I end up having it in the end I think looks really nicely. And then I put a few little decorations here and a backpack, and then it has a little chair in the corner with a few toys laying around, and then that cool kind of like dragon dinosaur looking stuffed animal, I put that in the corner as well. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cute kids room. These rooms are pretty big for kids rooms. You could probably honestly put like 2 beds in each of them and have like 2 sets of twins, because they're pretty big bedrooms. But this room ends up being very pink, so we have a very blue, very pink room, but I just love it, and I feel like these colors are there's so many different like furniture items that are base game that come in these really bright pink and blue colors, so it's really easy to decorate this way for base game items, and it's a lot of fun to do. I definitely like doing these very matchy kids rooms. They're so cute. And then in this room I get the drawing table, and then it kind of has some like princessy stuff. So this bookshelf here in the corner has like a princess castle on the side with other kind of like fairy tale decorations. And then I also got the unicorn rug, the unicorn wall decoration, and then I also put the princess wall decoration here in a little while, and I think it's just super cute. I really like it anyways. And then I add a couple of toys around, and I wanted to add a dollhouse, especially the castle one, but there really wasn't the space for it, so maybe you could size it down and fit it in here. And then I just add a couple more decorations, and then we are already onto the screenshots, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this build. And like I mentioned, the link will be in the description, so thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Show me your soul, baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul, honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Shamelessly displaying my state of mind, but you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see.